Hello and welcome to Love It Film. My name is Jamie and today's guest is Kat Connor Sterling. You recognise Kat straight away from Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie that came out not too long ago. If you're a fan of the movies and can't wait to see the second one, this is a great opportunity to find out what it's like actually being on set, what Freddy Fazbear is like in real life, what Foxy's like, what it's like working in a terrifying movie setting. So I can't wait to talk to Kat about this. She's also in lots of other things. She was in The Gifted for Marvel. She was in A Week Away on Netflix. So without further ado, let's get into the interview. Hello. Hi.
So my dog is joining us at the moment.
But that's very welcomed. I love dogs. Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl. I have some maintenance going on right now, and so she just gets like freaked out. So she's kind of forcing herself in the Zoom today. But
that's okay. I
love
the bow tie. The bow tie is pretty cool.
Yeah. Thanks. She always loves a good bow. So
yeah. What's her name?
This is Daisy.
Hi Daisy, welcome to Love the Film. Oh, and Kat Connor Sterling as well. Thanks for coming on. Kat, thanks so much for coming on to Love It Film, where we're talking to people like you who have worked in the industry as an actor in these projects that we're all fans of, and it's interesting when we get to talk to somebody who's in it to actually demystify it a bit and see what it's like, So we can talk a bit about you. How did you become an actor?
Yeah, so it's kind of weird because I am the only person in my family who had any kind of interest in something like this. Like, my dad is a small business owner, and my mom is a former kindergarten teacher. And like, none of my family has ever been involved in the performing arts or anything like that. So it's a mystery how it came to me. It's just something I've always wanted to do, even from when I was like, I remember 5 years old was the first time that I was like, I think I want to do that, because I'd see people, on TV and be like, wait, I could do that. Like, I could be in that. And so I would act out different scenes and stuff in my room, and and I was born in Memphis, Tennessee. There's really no film or television going on there, but they do have some great theater. And my parents put me in some theater programs. So I grew up doing a lot of the community and professional theater in Memphis. But always it's been my dream to be in film and television, even though my heart still, always will belong to theater as well. That's just always been a dream of mine, to work in film and television. So I did like a couple of short films when I was a teenager, and then really 2018, 2019 is when I really started getting serious. Like, okay, like I really want to do this. So I got an agent, and then within the first like maybe month or so of me getting an agent, I booked a small role on a Marvel show called The Gifted, and I was hooked. I mean,
I
being on
remember that show, yeah.
yeah, I got to do an episode of that. And first of all, like, your first credit being a Marvel series is really cool. And just having that experience of like that being your first professional job was crazy. It was so cool. So I was hooked. I was like, I've got to keep doing this. So things kind of built on from there. And yeah, I have one of those stories that's like, where I got really lucky in that
Yeah.
my second like big professional job was one of the leads in a Netflix film that I got out of an open casting call. And so I've had a few kind of lucky things there, but I also work very hard as well. But yeah, that's kind of how I fell in love with it.
It's cool. It's cool hearing about it too. It's cool just even hearing about America too, like Memphis, Tennessee. That's where Elvis is from, right?
Yes,
Graceland.
yes,
Ah, it's so cool. I
yes.
have to go there. It's
You
honestly
have
great. But
to. It's cool. It's a cool place.
I always see it online, like TikToks and stuff like that, where people are going into the museum. I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
The Gifted. That's a crazy thing to start on too. That was in a weird time with Marvel, right? Where it was what? Do you remember what year this was? Would have been a.
So I think it came out, I was in the second season, and that premiered in 2019.
Okay, so Marvel's at like the top of its game, 2019. So
Right.
I mean, that must have been so exciting just to get onto a project like that. I mean, what was it quite secretive? I know Marvel can be secretive with like scripts and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Was that intense for you?
it was. You didn't know what you were auditioning for, really. I think they called it, I think they called it Heaven when I read for it, and I had to sign an NDA just to audition, which is unusual. You typically don't do that. So I didn't really think, because I was still starting out, and so I didn't think a whole lot of it. But yeah, you had to sign an NDA, just audition. They called it Heaven. And I didn't know what the show was until I basically got there. And I was like, oh, this is The Gifted. I like picked up the clues and stuff of being like, okay, I'm playing a mutant's daughter and there's some explosion, we're using powers. And so I'm like Googling all of this. I'm like, oh, it's probably The Gifted. But yeah, that was a really cool entrance into the film and television world.
Yeah, no, that was a cool show too. I remember it well. Honestly, that's amazing. I mean, what I first saw you in must have been The Gifted, but after that, most recently, I saw you in Five Nights at Freddy's, which came out
Yes.
in 2023. And I mean, I played those games as a teenager. I think the first one came out when I was like 13 or 14 or something. So I've never seen a film that was so authentic to the kind of creepy vibe with these
Right.
animatronics and stuff. And you come in, character called Max, you were the babysitter. That must have been one hell of a cool experience just to walk into that set, with
Oh,
the
definitely.
pizzeria and Freddy Fazbear's. I mean,
Oh yeah.
how did that come about? As in, how did you get into that?
Right. So as an actor, it's all about you work really hard, you work really hard, you work really hard, and then luck has to find you on the way as well. And I think this was a case of that, and being like, I worked super hard and I've trained and I audition all the time as an actor. You are constantly auditioning, constantly hearing no, and most of the time not even hearing anything back at all. And so this was just another audition for me. I actually had never played the Five Nights at Freddy's games. So I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was like a Blumhouse horror movie, which was like cool. Like I've
Yeah,
always wanted to do a horror movie, and Blumhouse is like,
huge.
huge. It's like the king of horror. And so that's what everyone, knows it as. And so I auditioned for it. I thought my tape was good. I did three different scenes, and of course, the scenes change constantly because the script's ever evolving. So I did three scenes from the movie, and I thought I did well. But there are other auditions where I feel like I do well too, and you never hear anything back. And so you gotta just like put it out of your mind. And so about a week and a half later, they actually didn't do callbacks or anything. They watched my tape and it got sent to the producers and our director Emma. And I got a call a week and a half later. It's like, hey, you booked Five Nights at Freddy's, and like I was, so excited because Blumhouse. I had no
Yeah,
idea at that time. I didn't know what a big deal it was, but to me, it was just a big deal to be in a Blumhouse movie.
yeah.
Um, and so I also thought, so Five Nights at Freddy's. So I told everyone I was in a Freddy Krueger film because
No way. I
I
mean,
was
I
like,
can understand how you could confuse it, Blumhouse,
yeah. I was like, oh, it's Five Nights at like Freddy's. And then I would call it different things. I'd be like, it's called Friday Nights at Freddy's. Like
And
it
did
was,
people start to like figure this out when you were telling them about it?
well, it was just like, because you can't really tell a lot of people. So it was just like my family and
Mm.
a couple like close friends. And I didn't connect at all until someone leaked my casting online. And I was like, why? Like, why would they do that? Like, for a movie that, like, who would care about me? And people started commenting like beers on my Instagram and like my TikTok and stuff. And I was like, why are they commenting bears? Is it for like a Freddy Krueger film? Like, what is that? Like,
That must have
So
been so confusing.
I
You
was
know, it
really
makes so much sense knowing why, but that must
now
have
I
been,
understand, but I was like, and then like people were tagging me, be like, who could this be? Like, what is she playing? And like, it was very confusing. And then I saw a Deadline article where it was released that Matthew Lillard and Josh Hutcherson were going to be in the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And I was super like I don't think I fully read it, but I saw that it had a similar plot line to the movie I was in. I was like, wow, we're doing two very similar movies, but they're doing a movie about some like video game, and I'm doing a movie about Freddy Krueger. And I was like, oh,
uh,
it's the same movie. And so finally I put it all together when I got to set that I was like, they were showing me all the animatronics. And I was like, oh, there's no Freddy Krueger here. Like, this is not that
no.
kind of movie.
If you're a fan of Love of Film and you're watching us here on YouTube, please subscribe. I mean, it would really help us. I mean, if you like our stuff, we post reels all the time on Instagram, on TikTok, and please leave a review. Reviews do great for us. Helps us make more of these videos on Apple Podcast reviews. That's where the magic happens. So if you have time and want to give your thoughts, it doesn't have to be positive too. If you don't like what I'm doing, you can write that down. You can get angry. Yeah, leave a review. You can help us directly by signing up to our Patreon. The links are in the bio. I mean, hey, a little goes a long way. So if you want to do that, I really appreciate it. I mean, like, on set with them too, I'd imagine they were creepy, right? I mean, these things look real. There
They were
wasn't CGI, right? Like, I mean, I've seen the movie, and I
no,
mean, I've heard online that this was real animatronics.
yeah, very practical effects of that they really did build these. They're huge, like 10 feet tall, just massive to where it's like, I don't know. I don't I don't think that they have these where you guys are. We have something called Chuck E. Cheese here. And they have animatronics. And that's what a lot of people say it's based off of, but I don't know if that's a fact. But and so they're just really creepy and unsettling to look at. And they did have people, stunt actors, playing inside wearing the suits. And but the Freddy I worked with for that big scene, there was no one in him at the time. They were just kind of operating him, you know, functionally, just setting him on top of things. But yeah, very, very creepy. I remember Emma walked me in there to meet him for the first time, and just like I was so nervous and unsettled that I couldn't stop like hysterically laughing. And so like I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, it's not funny. I'm just really unsettled right now. And they're like, no, that's a good reaction. At least, like, we know you're scared. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it would have been weird if you went in and go, cool, yeah.
yeah, I think they were pleased with my reaction because I really was pretty unsettled. But yeah, they're massive, and something funny is that our production assistants, some of them that had to deal with the animatronics and stuff, were so like, just in case, they would say like good night and good morning to them every day, just in case they didn't want to get on their bad side.
Uh, that sounds like a creepy in a cool way type of set to
Right.
work on. I mean,
Yes.
you had scenes with Josh Hutcherson as well, which is obviously
Yes.
like such a great actor. I mean, what was that like? What was Josh like to work with? Because as you said, you didn't know you were going to be working with him, and like Matthew
Right.
Lillard was in the movie too. Like, so what was that experience like?
It was incredible because I had been a huge Hunger Games fan, and so
I was thinking maybe that was like, I mean,
yes.
that's kind of everyone's favorite film, the 2010s, so.
Yeah, I was right there in that like target audience of like loved Hunger Games, saw every movie, went to like some of the premieres and stuff. And so like it was super exciting. So I was like nervous, but he was so kind. Um it also because I work with kids in my day job, and so it's really important to me to see actors, how they treat the children on set. And he was so kind to Piper, the little girl who played Abby, and all that. They had like, they had Abby doubles and stuff, and all the other kids on set. Just seeing him treat them with such kindness, really treated everyone, um, so with such he like you would not think he was this like big movie star. Like he really like was just a really easy guy to have a conversation with and laugh and joke. And we both um we both like the NBA, the National Basketball Association here in America. And so we talk about that. And I mean, it's been out 2 years, so like people have seen it, but at the end when I they find my body and I'm sitting there in that like shadow Freddy thing, we were filming that, and it was just a late night. I was missing one of the games, and he was missing it too. So I took my phone in there with me and live streamed it, and then I'd peek out every time they yelled cut, and I'd yell out the score to him so that we could both keep up.
That's so cool. I mean, if you could tell yourself that back in the past watching the Hunger Games that you'll be talking about the NBA, I mean, crazy. I can't imagine. Did you meet Matthew Lillard on set? I mean, a huge Matthew Lillard fan. I mean, in terms
He's
of horror movies, like Scream, you know?
He's very kind. We didn't really cross paths, and I think something that like people don't really know is that he like was not he I think he came for like a couple days and then he went out for a really long time and then would come back because he is booked and busy. And so he would like go, come for a couple days, leave, come for another 3 days. So like a lot of people missed him because he wasn't there for the entirety of shooting. I was there for about like 7-ish weeks or something. And so I think like every time he would film, I would go back. And then when I would film, he would go back. So we unfortunately kind of didn't get to hang out a whole lot. But I know he's so great. And I was a fan of him in Scooby Doo. So this was
Oh
really
yeah,
cool.
he's the best live action Shaggy. I mean, there's
Oh
no
yeah.
question about it. I mean, but you were fantastic in the film. I mean,
Thank
I
you.
really enjoyed it. You got to wasn't those movies where you're like, I hated your character, but that's a good thing because you were
Right,
trying to make everyone hate your character
right,
towards
right.
the end. But then I was like, then I felt bad that you died in the movie. I was like, no, no, you know. I mean, what was that scene like to
Yeah.
film? I mean, again, you're right up that shot where you're going right up to the camera and you can see Freddy's teeth. It was just so cool. I mean, what was that like to film?
It was so I've always wanted to do something like that. Like that's my bucket list of being in a horror movie. And that's why I was so excited even before I knew like what a big deal this was. Um, is that like I've always wanted to be that girl like creeping down the hallway in a horror movie. And so like we were filming it and it takes a long time to film these things. So we filmed that over the course of like 3 days. And so I was just walking it and then just like thinking about how like childhood me would be so stoked right now because this is just like everything that I dreamed of, like going and lurking and like looking into Freddy's mouth and stuff. And I got to do the horror movie scream. That was really me screaming. And so that was really cool. And it was just a lot of fun. I love horror. I love the suspense. And it was a great crew and everyone was just so kind and it was really, really fun. I loved my murder.
Yeah, I mean that's the bucket list item of being in a horror movie. I mean, getting to die in a cool way as well. I mean, and you did such a great job with the character where you liked her at the
Yeah,
beginning and then at the end. As I said, I don't mean I hated her, but I mean,
right.
we're like, how could you do that? She
I
betrayed
know.
him, you know?
I
But
know.
no, it was great though. It was great. So I really enjoyed the movie. I mean, as an actor as well, I mean, as you were talking about, you deal with this industry where maybe you could get rejection with these auditions and stuff like that. And I imagine it's like an intense job to be in. I mean, to anyone who's starting off as an actor, how would you give advice on, say, maybe not getting the job that you really wanted, or maybe what to do when you get the job that you really wanted?
Right. I think the most important thing that someone told me, and like I have to continually remember to follow my advice, is like this job, whether like you wouldn't believe, like even some of the people that you see that are like stars in movies and TV, they also face a lot of rejection. They also like, yes, there are some big top stars that are offer only, but there are a lot of stars that like are still auditioning and are still getting those no's. And so you're going to face a lot of rejection. And the best way to deal with it is to make your life really full. Surround yourself with family and friends and hobbies and other things that you love. Maybe a pet per se.
Daisy?
Daisy, maybe a pet per se that you love. And find other ways to make your life full, and you can't make, even though like acting is my passion. I love this. I love this career. I love what I do. I can't make it the center of my life because it would be super disappointing because we do so many auditions. You're going to get so few of those jobs. And so it's so important to make your life full to where you still love your life, even if you're not working. And that's a piece of advice someone gave me, and it's significantly helped me. And then when you do get the job, kind of almost the same thing of surround yourself with people who love you and care about you, and because there's some highs and lows of that, of being like, you're gonna reach a high where it's like top of box office, things like that, and then you'll go through a period of time where things are a little bit quieter. So stay humble when you get the job, because there will be times where it's gonna be slow, whether you're a top A-list celebrity or not.
And that goes for any line of work as well. There's good times, there's bad times. So to anyone who wants to be an actor, I think that's great advice, Kat. So thanks so much for that. I mean, you talked about a bucket list item being in a horror movie, getting to die in a cool way, getting to do the Scream, the Blumhouse movie. Is there another big sort of genre of film, or maybe like another? Well, you're in the Gifted too, so you're in the Marvel universe too.
Right.
Is there another one of these things that you would just love to be a part of? Like maybe like some crazy comedy or something like that.
I'd love to do a sci-fi. That's
Sci-fi.
Yeah, that's the goal. I'd love to do another well, not another, but I'd love to do a sci-fi. I just did another thriller about a month ago. I finished a thriller. I can't really say much about it right now, but it checked off a bucket list thing of mine as well. But yeah, I'd love to do sci-fi. I love watching those types of shows and movies. But I also do love comedy as well. My first movie was a movie musical, and so I'd love to maybe do another one of those. But we'll see what the world has to offer. But like I said before, you got to make your life full so that you're not sitting around feeling empty. My life is full right now. And so, yeah, we'll see what comes next.
I mean, I hope all the best for you, because I think you're a great actor, and I mean, the things
Yeah.
I've seen you in, you're just fantastic. So, yeah, I really hope that just kicks off. Thanks so much for coming on to Love It Film. This was really interesting for me, genuinely, to actually hear what it's like working on these things, these big projects, whether it be even just life as an actor too. Because I mean, a lot of time when you're on the internet, you only see actors talking like about, say, good, and just a
Right.
lot of times it's not really real. So it was great to
Mhm.
get a real insight to that. And yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, and Daisy. Thanks for having
Daisy, thanks for coming on as a guest as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. This was so
Ah,
fun.
thank you. Thanks. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Bye bye.
I can't thank Kat enough for coming on to the show. I had a great time talking to her about life as an actor, finding out what it was like being on set with Freddy Fazbear and all these crazy characters. The bucket list moment where she had a horror movie death, and it happened to be from Freddy Fazbear himself, which was really, really cool. And if you want to see more Love It Film, where I'm talking to people who were in movies like Superman, stay tuned on Love It Film. So I'm going to leave it back to you. See you later.